Hi everybody, this is Joe at Joe's Premium Firewood, bringing another fun-filled, exciting video. Today's video, I'm going to talk about how the weather affects production and my sales of firewood. But before I do that, I was going to be splitting this wood into bundles today, although some of them pieces Chad cut too short and I'll just have to throw in the bay too. I got a message on my Facebook this morning, my Facebook page, Joe's Premium Firewood. Make sure you like that page. That my restaurant in Holland, Michigan needed an oversized truckload of cherry. And since they buy about this much from me every, 6 to 8 weeks for $200 plus 3 to-go boxes full of ribs and wings and brisket, or not brisket, but pulled pork, I said I'd rather do that as long as I keep the money coming in. Money gets to go out. So I just had the A-team help me load this up, and they just took off to go cut some cherry to replace it, and they will be splitting all of this sassafras for my summer campfire wood when they get back. I gave him an easy day today. Mike's back's still bothering him, so I told him he could do some splitting. Let me set this up on here and we'll get going on the main subject of today's video. So if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I make all firewood related videos. I have 2 firewood channels. My other firewood channel is called Joe's Firewood Videos. This is Joe's Firewood Videos 2. Don't want to get into why I had to make this channel, but I got 2 channels now. So check that one out. If you like it, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you. So anyway, talking about the weather, how it affects production. You know, like today, here it is, what is it, the 27th of December? And right now, it is like, we've had an abnormally nice stretch of weather. The last time we've had any precipitation was on Tuesday night into Wednesday of last week. We got about 3 inches of snow. It was super cold. I went and did a delivery, had to wear a winter coat, had to wear my face mask, you know, because the wind chill was below 0. Yesterday, it was 61 degrees. I ended up making like 17 bundles because when the temperature is below 50 degrees, my fingers start to freeze when I make them. So I just decided to get a jump on that. They're starting to get low at the restaurant I supply, and I don't want to have to try doing it when it's 20 degrees out, you know, because you can only make like 1 or 2 before your hands are numb. But anyway, here in December in Southwest Michigan, and the people that follow my channel, like Saw Surgeon and Town Model, will confirm this is very unusual. You know, I remember the winter of or December of 2000, we had 4 feet of snow. Not all at once, but it like snowed every day that month, you know. And trying to get out and work in knee-deep snow, it is one of the hardest things to do, you know. And I personally would prefer working in the cold. The cold doesn't bother me, but when you start getting over, you know, 6 inches of snow on the ground, it makes it very difficult. My truck won't go through the woods unless it's flat ground and the ground's frozen, you know. But when you're running a chainsaw and you're on a steep hillside and the snow gets compacted, it becomes a very dangerous situation, you know. So now yesterday I did a delivery to a customer that actually bought wood for their outdoor fire pit, you know, because it's so nice, you know, look how nice it is out. But that's a rarity. You know, I'm very lucky that my sales aren't dependent on cold weather. I actually sell more firewood during the summer than I do during the winter, if you can believe that or not, because most of my customers buy for ambience, you know. They want caveman TV. So I don't need it super cold. And we've just been loving this weather. If I took you around and show you, you know, in the last, including today, in the last 11 days, I will have sold 12 truckloads of firewood, you know, and it's been nice weather the last few days, but everybody that lives around here knows it's going to change, you know. So, and in Michigan, I would say we probably lose anywhere from 80 to 100 days a year because of bad weather as far as producing the wood. You know, fires selling it, burning it, you know, during the summer, if it's raining all the time, my outdoor campfire wood people aren't going to be buying as much. So that does affect my sales during the summertime when it's bad like that, you know. But as far as being cold in the winter, that really doesn't affect me as far as selling goes, you know. So, but it always helps, you know. Usually on the first snowfall in October, my phone rings off the hook. Get messages left and right. People all want it, and that's why I get behind 2-3 weeks, because I can only deliver a couple truckloads a day with delivery time. But like during the summertime, you think, oh well, you shouldn't have any problem producing wood in the summertime. Well, I don't like going out and cutting. It's such hard physical work. You know, I'm not in the greatest of shape, not, 20 years old anymore. And going out and it gets real humid here in the summertime, you know, where we live, it can go from 40 below to 110 with humidity in the summertime. And I don't know how you guys in the South do it, but if it's over 85 degrees and humid, I won't work in it. I won't cut. Mike tries to do, he says he can do it, but then, by noon, it really wears you out. But in weather like this, perfect weather, I think it's 40, low 40s right now, very little wind. It doesn't get any better than that as far as producing wood, and people are having fires to heat their house. But the summertime, and then you got all the underbrush, but that's not really effect of the weather. But the best time to cut, as far as I'm concerned, or produce wood, is from October through May, but in October through December, there's deer hunting season. That really, unless we can find some property to cut on that there isn't any deer hunting going on, then we can't do it. It just, we would love to be able to get out and cut, because you can also, like I say, the underbrush is gone, you can see everything. You can always put more clothes on as it gets colder, but when it's 100 degrees in the summertime, I don't care if you're naked, you're gonna still be sweating your butt off, So, yeah, that, like I say, as far as production goes, wintertime is fine. The cold we can deal with, but when we start getting too much snow, you can't get out and produce. And then there's rain. I know now if it's just a light mist, I sometimes work in it, at least splitting, but man, when you're running a saw and you're standing on slippery leaves on a hillside, very dangerous, and I know Will Bird, he likes to call Mike Sugar, because Mike won't cut in the rain because he's afraid he's gonna melt, but it's not worth it. It's miserable, even splitting, if it's a downpour, who wants to do that, and like I say, we lose 80 to 100 days. And then another thing about the weather too, if it's really wet or when the snow melts in March, everything turns into mud, and it's real hard for the trucks to get through the woods, when everything's just real sloppy and muddy, and it makes it real difficult too. Like I said, the best ideal conditions is like what it is now. It hasn't rained or snowed in 8 days. So, and it was been in the 50s and 60s, and everything is dried out. The ground's solid. You can go anywhere and cut. And today it's in the mid 40s, so you're not gonna be sweating. It's just perfect. You can work all day and handle it. So it does. The weather does have different effects. On the sales. Of course, if it's too hot in the summer, people aren't gonna be burning at their campfires too. So, usually that the perfect weather for burning in the summertime is under 80 degrees. Maybe wait till nighttime. Obviously wait till nighttime and have an outdoor campfire and do that. But one thing I wanted to show you, somebody made a comment that I should tuck my shirt in, but I got my suspenders hooked up to keep my pants up, so that's why I don't tuck in my pants. So let me check this real quick. Think, I got this to deliver. It's going to Holland. It's, like I say, it's about an hour drive one way, and I'm getting $200 plus the food. So All right, I think that's all I got to say about the weather. I thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.